Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and yeah, the gym dominance isn't done yet. Anyways, let's start today's episode off with Iron-Blooded Orphans. As you all probably remember very well, last month, at the start of the month, I talked about as one of the biggest stories in my returning episode of Gunpla News, the return of IBO. It was a big deal, it was really hype. At the time, all we had was a picture at the bottom of the official website, and a fairly vague teaser that said new episode coming or something along the lines of that. And at the time, because of how vague the teaser was, a lot of people thought it was talking about the IBO radio drama thing that was kind of going on at the time. But earlier today, or earlier yesterday, depending on where you are in the time zone, the official Iron-Blooded Orphans Twitter tweeted out another teaser. They showed the same image again with a couple lines of text. According to Google Translate, "It's new. Please wait for the continuation. Thank you." Ladies and gentlemen, we have an Iron-Blooded Orphans sequel confirmed. Of course, this further cements the proof that we are in fact getting a new animated Iron-Blooded Orphans thing. I know a lot of people are skeptical, but this pretty much confirms that it's happening. This also confirms that it will take place after the end of Season 2. That rules out the biggest theory we've had going so far, which was that this was going to be a Calamity War movie. So what we're looking at now is definitely going to be some kind of continuation of the main story. But whether it's going to be a short OVA series or a full-length third season has yet to be seen. If IBO does actually manage to get a full third season, that will be a huge first for the Gundam franchise. But now it's time to turn our eyes away from the future and towards the present with August's newest Gunpla releases. Now that the month of August has begun, we've seen the box art for all of this month's new kits. We're going to start off with the high-grade Build Divers models. The first one of these here to look at is the high-grade Gundam Astray No Name. The Gundam Astray No Name is a very popular design. This machine is used by the main villain of the series. It looks like they're playing off Tsukasa's hacker theme by putting a very digital-looking background behind the No Name. As for the Gundam's pose itself, I think it could have been better. It really doesn't look very menacing, and if I saw this on a shelf, I'd honestly pass right over it. With such a cool looking design, I feel like they could have done a lot more. Next up is the first SD Build Divers release, the RX Zero Maru. This is Ayame's Ninja Gundam, and the box art actually looks a lot like one of the pictures that we've already seen of the model. In fact, I kind of almost suspect that this might have been traced from a picture of the model. I don't think the artwork looks particularly interesting on this one, and I think it's because the background is nearly the same color as the border, which makes it look a little too monotonous. Next up, we have the new lead Gundam for Build Divers, the Gundam 00 Sky. 00 Sky's box art is very eye-catching, with his Destiny Gundam-style sword thrusting right out into your face. The GN drives are glowing, and the Gundam itself is very menacing looking. It's a very unique pose, and I'm always happy to see that sort of thing out of a lead Gundam. In addition to the Gundam 00 Sky, we'll also be getting the Gundam 00 Sky Higher Than Sky phase. This is the special version of the 00 Sky that includes a new kind of gloss injection plastic used for many of the parts and brand new wing effect parts. Of course, those badass wing effect parts are the main draw of this kit, so the box art makes sure to highlight them as much as it possibly can, and they make for a very appealing design. On the build custom side of things, we have the Sky High wings looking pretty bland. I mean, they're just white wings, there's not much you can show off with them. I am getting some Wing Zero custom vibes from the pose they have the 00 Diver in on the box though. The Machine Rider appears to be coming in a standard sized HG box similar to the Diver gear. 3 different motorcycle configurations are shown on the front. Also coming out this month in the Build Custom line are the 2 new handsets. Build Hands Edge have squared off fingers for use on Gundams in more modern kits, and the Build Hands Round are designed for Xeon mobile suits as well as older Gundams that have a more cartoony design. The box art for both sets is clean and to the point. It very clearly shows you what you get and how you're meant to use it. Alright, so now we're up to the box art of the month for August. Real Grade Sazabi. In a first for the Real Grade line, the Sazabi comes in a massive, full-sized Master Grade box. Going by the dimensions of the artwork, this box is going to be around twice the size of a standard Real Grade box. And seeing as the Sazabi is a model that costs about twice as much as a standard Real Grade, I'd say that checks out. The Sazabi has a lot of large, bulky armor shells, so expect to see a lot of big pieces in this box. The box art itself looks awesome. They took the Real Grade box formula and they blew it up. The Sazabi's portrait is in the background, and you can see the full kit in the foreground. With its enormous size dominating the other Real Grade kits boxes, the Sazabi will stand out for sure on any store shelf. Because the Japanese Premium Bandai release of Master Grade Avalanche Axia comes out a month before the standard retail US release in September, we already have box art of it to drool over. The Avalanche Axia's box art is awesome and fits right in line with the other Gundam 00 kits. This box art really brings me back to the older 00 models. I love the Avalanche Axia design, but I got burned really bad by the high grade last year, so I'm gonna have to pick one of these up and hope for the best. So moving on to new kit announcements, we have the Real Grade Gabby Hazard's High Mobility Type Zaku 2. Now obviously, as would be expected, this is a premium Bandai kit. You know, it's not like we'd see something like this at retail. And it's kind of a surprising kit for me. There actually was a picture of this a while back, but it was only on one site and I couldn't find any other sources than the one singular grainy image that I saw of it, so I held off on reporting on it until I could confirm that it was in fact a real leak. But with the model being officially revealed on the P-Bandai website, it's pretty obvious now that it's happening. As far as my personal opinions on this kit go, I think it's kind of an odd choice. I'm not that familiar with the MSV pilots, most of what I know about them comes from the MSVR manga, but it never seemed to me like Gabby Hazard was all that popular of a character. If they were going to continue doing the MSV Zakus after the Shin Matsunaga, the TriStars, and the Johnny Raiden trio that is pretty much the standard for any grade, I would have expected them to first start with something like Uma Lightning or maybe Gatto. I do like the Gabby Hazard's colors, mostly because they kind of remind me of my channel colors, but it does seem like an odd place to start. And finally, to close out tonight's Gunpla news, we have official images of the Premium Bandai high-grade The Origin Heavy Gundam rollout colors. We talked about this last time on Gunpla News, but we only had one pretty blurry image to go off of, but now we have the full set of official images. And there's not too much I can say about it, it's pretty much just the Heavy Gundam but in white. There's nothing really new here. So unless you're a really hardcore Origin fan, or you just really like how the Heavy Gundam looks in white, this kit seems like a pretty easy pass to me. And that is all I've got for you in this first episode of August 2018's Gunpla News. Thanks for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more Gunpla news and reviews, and as always, I'm your host Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.